we're stirring up the mix. JD's tall, got opinions for days. He'll tell you what he thinks in 1,000 ways. Mr. Tim, the old man in the crew, knows a little about everything, it's true. From history to dad jokes and bad advice, he's seen it all and he's paid the price. QLC is kicking down the door. QLC is kicking down the door. Say it loud, say it raw. We came in loud and we want more.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to the QLC podcast, where we are making questionable life choices, asking questions, and laughing at our own life choices. To my right is Andrew, to my left is JD, and I am the Unk, Mr. Tim.
So, get a nickname?
Well, it's just true.
Oh.
So, what we're going to try and do is we're going to talk about life. We're going to talk about faith. We're going to talk about sports. We're going to have people on when we want to. We're going to talk about whatever's on our minds. So today, we're going to start off with, well, one of the greatest debates of all time. JD, take it away.
Wait, one of the greatest debates of all time? Greatest basketball player of all time. Michael
right.
Jordan. Unquestionable. Up on top.
All right, are there any counterpoints out here?
No counterpoints, but I would like to say LeBron is not in the top 5.
Okay, we'll get to that. That is hot. So, JD, make your case.
Well, you see, not only is Michael Jordan one of the greatest players to watch, just phenomenal. I mean, have you seen him in college? Have you seen a college highlight clip? Dunk, 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 dunk. He's phenomenal to watch.
Okay, I will say, if you haven't, go watch, go to YouTube. I mean, pause this and come back. Right? Go to YouTube and pull up one of the highlight reels of Michael Jordan.
He's not only phenomenal to watch, but he made that team what it was. Do you really think that Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman get as big as they did without Michael?
Well, I mean, Scottie never really, at the beginning at least, never really went without Michael. Mike came into the league. He was flash. He was great year one. Year two, he was dealing with injuries. Year three, I mean, he got better. But then in year four, I think it was when he got Scottie, right?
Okay.
So, and then when he got Scottie, then, it came together. So even the greatest, I think what that says is the greatest of all time still needs something to complete the team.
Yeah, but every
right?
Batman needs a Robin. You can't hold that against him.
That's true. And whereas Michael Jordan got his Robin, Scottie, who was, you're kind of either doing a real big favor for Robin or, because Scottie was great.
Yeah.
But even, if you're gonna make the GOAT debate, LeBron had a lot of great.
LeBron chased talent. LeBron went to other teams to find talent.
It's true. And LeBron was the first person to really take it and make it a business. Like, I'm gonna go to this team and I want you to get this person, this person, this person. He's even doing it right now.
Yeah,
with Bronny. Like, I want you to go get my son. So what makes the GOAT?
I feel like the greatest player of all time needs to be the player, not necessarily that scores the most points or gets the most rebounds, but the player. If you take that player off the court, the team goes to crap. If you remove this player, you're losing the X factor.
Well, yeah, that's bare minimum. But I think it has to be deeper than that. What do you think?
If you take away Michael Jordan, is that era of basketball to the level that era of basketball was? Are kids coming in like Kobe Bryant who were idolizing Michael Jordan?
Oh, wow. Now that's an extra layer I didn't see coming. Without Michael, would there have been a Kobe? Let me pivot off of that and say, is Kobe top 5? You said LeBron's not. Is Kobe top 5?
I'd put Kobe over LeBron.
Okay.
I'd put Kobe over LeBron.
Okay. I heard it put this way. How can LeBron be in the GOAT debate? And I feel like this is kind of a hot take, but I like it. I heard somebody say, it's not original with me, but they said, how can LeBron be in the GOAT debate when LeBron's not even top 5 Laker of all time?
I've heard that one too.
I mean, that's kind of wild, but I like it.
It's a tough one to overcome.
So I think what you said is true. When he comes off the court, the team's not the same. If he gets injured, the team's definitely not going anywhere. But I think the GOAT has to be transformative. He has to change the game somehow.
But you got to be careful with that, because then there'll be people that, Curry changed the
He
game.
did, which to me, I mean, that's a big one. Maybe he's not in the GOAT debate for some other reasons, but he really did change the game.
He changed the game in a major way. Now, how did LeBron change? LeBron,
he wasn't transformative. He's a freak of nature. He's an athletic freak, and nobody can take that away. And I think athleticism alone maybe gets him close to that GOAT debate, because he's just a freak of nature. And yeah, he's a stat machine.
he didn't change the game. He kind of transformed with the game.
Well, let me ask you this, and this might be a little bit of a shift on the sports question we're talking about today. But I mean, would you consider, if you're thinking greatest football player of all time, would you give that to Emmitt Smith, running back for the Dallas Cowboys? I love Emmitt Smith, and I'm a lifelong Cowboys fan, which is to my everlasting shame. I'll go get my paper bag and put it on my head right now. That it'll have a star on it, but I mean, it's still got to hide my face. But I love Emmitt Smith. He's the leading rusher all time in an era where he was up against Barry Sanders.
I was about to say, but you have people like Barry Sanders with the Lions.
Right, but
the Lions.
Emmitt Smith and Barry Sanders were neck and neck for leading rusher every year, right?
Who had the better offensive line?
Okay, that's kind of where I
Barry
was going for
Sanders
that.
was a better running back, in my opinion.
I'm not arguing with you, but Emmitt Smith lasted longer, mostly because he didn't get done completely wrong by his team. If Jerry Jones gets any credit, there it is. But but Emmitt Smith had actual tanks in front of him that just cleared the way. Now, Emmitt Smith was a great running back. Great running back. You can't even with that front line, those five guys up there, Emmitt Smith has to be good or he's not going anywhere. He was good. He had speed. He had the ability to see a hole and hit it. He is the all-time leading rusher in NFL history right now. Nobody's passed him. Is he the greatest NFL player of all time?
No.
Exactly. And I really don't think he was. I don't think he changed the game. I think he was a great team player, a great position player, had great blocking in front of him. But to your point, Barry Sanders played at the same time. And homeboy would, with no blocking up front, he would leave the opponent's ankles in the backfield as he ran for a touchdown.
It was insane.
I heard a commentator while Barry was still running say that Barry Sanders could make you miss twice in a hole this big. Like,
It was accurate.
that
Have
is
you
true.
seen the dude's highlights?
That's
Again,
another,
pause the video, go watch some Barry Sanders highlights, and come back.
that is another highlight reel that is
There's
a must watch, because that man took great defenders and put them on their knees. He took great tacklers and spun them around in circles.
There was one I saw, dude had like 5 gigantic humans on his back, and he kept walking. It was, they spun around, and 5 humans went away.
Barry was Barry was about your size.
Yeah.
But Barry had thighs that were as big as your waist. So, and he was just hilarious fun to watch. But that Emmitt Smith just putting up stats, I don't think makes him the greatest of all time, which is exactly the same argument I'm making with LeBron. It's not the only argument I'm making against LeBron. I hate LeBron's attitude, and I am one of I'm the unk here, okay? I get it, but I'm the one that's sitting there thinking, look, your attitudes and your actions off the court can absolutely disqualify you.
You cannot be the greatest of all time if you're not an upstanding human being out off the court.
One of the great appeals of Michael Jordan was I never knew all of my life if he was a Republican or a Democrat. And people asked him, in Jordan's time, it was either in a book or something he said. He's like, Republicans buy sneakers too. Like, I want everybody to buy my stuff, so I'm not gonna do anything that makes them not want to. I absolutely will not buy and this might be getting into the politics side of it, but I absolutely will not buy LeBron shoes. I won't.
They're just not as good.
And he's a whiny baby, and his school is.
Can we talk about how defensive highlights? How are all of your defensive highlights you getting beat and getting a chase down block?
The chase down block is for real.
That's
Okay.
true. That's true.
So that's one. That's a real good debate. I'm with you. Michael Jordan is more fun to watch. Was more dominant in his time, and he changed the freaking game. All right. So let's move from that to. I mean, you're sports adjacent. What you got for politics, Andrew?
My thing is, it's utterly disgusting that the sitting president got booed during the national anthem at a NBA Finals game.
Okay.
Just this last week.
Why? Why do you think, one, he went? Why do you think, two, that people felt the need to boo him at a sports game?
He went. I'm not
And
100%
three,
sure.
during the anthem, like.
I'm not 100% sure exactly why he went.
I've got one for why he went. He's a normal human. He likes to go do things too.
Yeah.
Okay, that's true. Trump has done more normal guy stuff.
I mean, Joe
He
Biden
went-
slept a lot. That's
Joe-
some normal guy stuff.
We know he went to the bathroom.
That's
He was
where-
right in front of world leaders.
Boy, that's where me and Joe are alike. Dude likes a good nap, okay? But Trump, like, he went to a college football national championship game.
Yeah.
He's now gone to
The
an
Super
NBA.
Bowl.
He's gone to the Super Bowl, and he's the most normal president we've ever had. Probably one of my favorite presidents is Calvin Coolidge, because they call him Silent Cal. You just never heard from the guy. He came out to do his job. He went back into his hole. Right. He was gone. I love that. But if you're gonna be visible, why not be
Just be
visible for the
normal.
right stuff? Be normal.
What I don't understand is why they booed him during the national anthem.
That's weird.
They're
And why
anti-America.
did the videographers, what's the word?
Yeah, I think it's video.
cameraman.
Cameramen have to. They were hoping for that response. Like, the national anthem has always been a moment of respect, like, and admiration for our country.
And it should be. It should be. Because we live here and we take from its benefits.
And
It's
that-
freedom. We
That's
benefit
our
from.
sitting president, and you just booed him during the national anthem.
Let me ask you this. And you can take this one first. If it's close. Joe Biden I hate for a lot of different reasons, but Barack Obama is probably one of the most America-hating presidents we've ever had, and that was a change at the time. Before Barack Obama, I don't think we had ever had a president that actively didn't like the country. So if Obama went to, let's call it the college national football championship, right, which is usually in an SEC friendly stadium, right? So he's in the South, he's down here with Republicans. Do you think Barack Obama gets booed in that stadium?
No. Because
Wait a minute.
Sorry.
Wait a minute.
During the national anthem.
Not during the national anthem. No. We're all standing with our hands over our hearts. The cameraman zooms in on Barack Obama and we're like, why? Now, after the national anthem, he zooms in on it again. Bah!
Do you think he gets booed?
It depends on how rowdy the crowd is that night. And at a national
If their team's winning or
national
not.
game.
Well, usually before the game, announcements, they'll welcome the President of the United States, Barack Obama. Do you think when they draw attention to him that he gets booed in a Republican-heavy arena?
I
don't
feel
think-
like
I think it'd be scattered.
I think, and I don't think I'm wrong, but we never had it to see. I don't think he gets booed in his presidential term. Now
now he gets
I
booed.
think he gets booed.
We can say all we want about the president, but he's still in authority over us. The Bible calls us to respect him.
That's true, and it's not strictly Christian,
Yeah.
right? We all live under, we got these this phenomenon where somebody gets elected that we don't like, and we're like, that's not my president. Well, newsflash,
It's
it
still
is.
your president.
It's your president. You live here. You as a outworking of being an American citizen, you are subject to the laws and the leaders, whether you like them or not.
The other thing that bothered me about it is it took away from the national anthem. Like,
That's true.
it drowned out the national anthem in that stadium.
That's true. And
That's a problem.
that is. I agree. Here's my hot take question. Since, questions is in the name of the podcast. Do you think we should have the national anthem before every sports game?
Yes.
Yes.
Why?
Absolutely.
Okay, defend it. Why?
It is intrinsic to American society. The national anthem is a symbol of your nation. It's like a bald eagle or the flag. When you play the national anthem before a sporting event, it's reminding the people why they're free to even be here. It's respect to your nation. It shouldn't be a question of why. If it didn't happen, it should be a question of why don't we?
Patriotism should be intrinsic.
Yes.
Okay, I'll send my devil's advocate to you. We shouldn't have the national anthem because it has nothing to do with sports. It's a political thing. It's a country thing. We're just playing a game.
It's not a political thing, and if there was no,
that's true. That's true.
if there was no country, would there be sports?
Yes, there would.
That's true.
You would be playing them for the country.
Okay, like cavemen. We're like, dude, I bet I can run to that rock faster than you can. We're gonna make a sport out of this somehow.
But I mean, what if you're in America? You need to sing the national anthem. Come on, that's just dumb to me.
I mean, it's not just America either. It's every nation. Every nation has its patriots, and you should be a patriot for your nation, whatever it may be, because you belong to that nation. That's where you live. Everything you have is because you got it there.
Yeah.
You should have a sense of loyalty to where you're born. And a lot of people nowadays, they don't. That's why they're going to drown out the national anthem.
That's why I promise you, everyone that started the booing did not have their hand over their heart.
It's because, oh, I'm black and people hate me, or I'm gay and people hate me. They just don't. I don't.
What was that face for?
That was true. That was true. You hit that nail on the head. So, let's move to religion then. I mean, that all of this has been kind of one thing piggybacking on another. And since you brought it up, Romans 13 says, let every soul be subject to the higher powers. Now, you'll see this dynamic in Scripture, and I'm not here to just preach a sermon, but it's also not really a question either. So you'll see often when the Bible is talking about something, it's going to tell you who it's talking to, right? And so when you have something that's talking to Christians in particular, it's going to say, brothers and sisters, do this and this. It's going to say Christians should do this. When it's not, you'll notice Romans 13:1, it says, let every soul be subject to the higher power. So it is interesting that it's not talking to redheads because we know they don't have one. But
that's a little mean. Okay. That one's spicy.
I heard a joke told today by somebody online. They posted, there's a redhead convention in Ireland every year, and they showed a picture of all these people that showed up, all these redheads. And they're like, it's sad because not a soul showed up. So, I mean, it says, let every soul. This is talking to every person.
That
redheads included. Presidents, yes. Let every soul be subject to the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God. Now, this is one that I had to quote to myself when Barack Obama was elected president, okay? He was, I mean, if I were of a different political stripe, I'd have been pointing to him going, not my president. And then I look at Romans 13:1 and go, oh, he is my president.
Yeah.
The powers that be are ordained of God. God allowed them to have that position. And so we are subject to it. Okay, go.
Does that mean they actually have to have cognitive power so that Joe Biden doesn't count?
But the president has to appeal to the higher authority, which is God.
Yeah, but that's his job. The rest of us are subject to him. And not just subject to him, There's the Senate. In America, we have the Senate, we have the House of Representatives, and we have local government as well. That means when you get pulled over by the cops for speeding, my brand new drivers, you're subject to that. You're subject. You are subject to that power. Let me finish the verses, okay? For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. For he is the minister of God to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain. For he is the minister of God, or avenger, to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. So this whole thing, it's a very fulsome passage. It's a very, like, this is what it is.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of question here. You're supposed to subject yourself to the power. And when it's talking about powers, it's talking about the authorities, right? So, and then it even says, look, he's going to punish you. And God's not going to be like, oh, let my baby off the hook. This is not some parent coming into the principal's office for you. God's like, no, I put him there. You're going to have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Thoughts? Okay, let me give you this. What does that say to people about personal responsibility? Yes.
Run that by me one more time.
What does that verse say to us? And remember, not Christians, every person, about personal responsibility.
Well, it means you are responsible for your own actions,
Oh, yes.
whatever they may be. Like that one murder case recently. He's responsible for his actions, even with the crowd rioting outside.
Yeah.
You did kill that kid.
Austin Metcalf was stabbed in the heart.
That doesn't change. Just because of what people think are the circumstances around it doesn't change that he was murdered.
It's true, and there was one. I think even the defense attorney said, well, what he brought up, like the possibility that the knife was just pulled out and open, and then Austin Metcalf fell on it. Well, okay, that's not what happened. That's not what anybody's testimony says happened. But even so, if you had the knife out, you're still responsible for that. Yeah, that's probably a lesser charge. It's a manslaughter, but I'm not a lawyer.
And how terrified would you be if you're the person who did it and that's the best your defense attorney could come? He fell on the knife.
Yeah,
the defense had bought.
That defense was a.
Have you looked at the defense for that case?
No.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Even the defense's witnesses were. Working for the prosecution, not for the defense. It was really bad.
The kid's guilty, yes, but you could have done a better job.
Carmelo Anthony is going to jail for his own actions, but his defense attorney didn't do him any favors. Okay,
it was rough.
He has been found guilty, and he's been sentenced to 35 years. So let's have a bonus topic here, since this is the hot thing in the news right now. Since he was 17 at the time that the incident happened, the Supreme Court has said that he can't be, the death penalty's off the table. The most you can do is life in prison, and he has to have the possibility of parole. Okay? So, should death penalty be on the table, regardless of age? And let's start with that one. Should death penalty be on the table for anyone, even if they are a minor when they commit the crime, if it's first-degree murder?
I feel like it should be on the table.
Okay. I think it should be on the table, but I think the age...
That shouldn't be your first option. Like,
what do you mean?
Like, you shouldn't jump to the death penalty first because kids are stupid. Obviously he took another person's life.
Kids are stupid, but
yeah.
I mean,
if it's, I think that for murder, the death penalty should still be on the table for people that are 16, 17, 18.
Okay, but we have degrees of murder: first degree murder, second degree murder, third degree, and then manslaughter in the first and second degree. So, if it's determined to be, and it was in this case, first degree murder, why is death penalty not on the table?
Could you define first-degree murder?
It's mens rea. It's malicious intent.
Okay.
It's
malicious intent. Yes, that penalty should definitely be on the table.
If you killed this person,
like second degree, third degree would be things like crime of passion. Like you walk in on your wife cheating with somebody else and you kill and just like a blind rage of passion. That's not first degree. That's not premeditated. That's not an evil mind. That's put in a different category. So first degree murder, criminal intent, evil mind. It's the worst murder you can possibly have, premeditated.
And he was on that campus with a knife, which was prohibited, and he was inciting a fight. I mean, you can hear that from the audio. You can see that from the video. It's very obvious.
Self-defense means you have to have fear for your life.
Yeah.
He was taunting the guys in that tent.
There was no self-defense. What else can you call it but killing in cold blood?
All of the witnesses, none of the witnesses said that he was afraid for his life. And all the people around. Even the guys that were called by the defense didn't say that he looked like he was afraid for his life. That's first degree, and I think they rightly found him guilty of murder in the first degree. But he was sentenced to 35 years in prison with the possibility of parole after 17 and a half. Now, I don't think that's enough.
That is not enough. If you're giving him that short of a time, no parole.
Well, here's the thing. They could have found him guilty because they had a wide range. They could even consider manslaughter. The judge gave them permission to even consider manslaughter. They could have considered first, second, third degree, or manslaughter. And they did not. They found him guilty of first degree, which means...
I think
it's got to be
first degree murder always has to be... I think it's got to be death sentence.
Well, not every state in the union has death penalty as an option. That's a topic for a different time.
I feel like first degree has to come with life in prison, with the and death penalty has to be an option.
Has to be on the table.
Yeah.
Here's my thing with life in prison. Essentially what life in prison is it's instead of you getting to take care of yourself and have your freedoms, now we get to control you, but we still have to take care of you, and that's taxpayer dollars. I don't like that. If you have done something worthy of forfeiting your life to either to be in prison or to be killed, why do we then have to take care of you if you get life in prison?
Well, yeah, we can discuss whether death penalty is even ethical. That's a good question for another time. We can discuss, taxpayers having to care for criminals for their entire lives, and including medical care. I
think criminals have better med care than I do.
But that's a good topic.
Yeah.
But we've kind of beat this one to death. But it's happening right now, and I don't think it's just a flash in the pan news story. I think it's important.
Yeah.
For our culture, because people need to be accountable for their actions. Yes, there's an aspect of young people do dumb things,
which it's still wrong.
So
I still stole the car.
Is that a mitigation of their culpability? Is that you give them a lesser level of responsibility because they're young, their brain's not fully developed yet, they acted out of stupidity instead of maybe just sheer evilness. But I mean, sometimes stupid is evil.
That
if you did the crime, you got to pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I tell you guys all the time, I have personal experience with a kid that was in one of my youth groups that he, well, not my church, but he was in my school, and he was just absolute stupidity, and he ended up killing a kid. And should he have gotten the death penalty? That kind of thing.
Then that circles back to first degree, second degree.
Yeah, and I don't remember which he was convicted of, but it was definitely stupidity.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, good talk. Any closing thoughts?
Going back to appealing to higher authorities, that does mean that we do need to respect the president, even if we don't agree with him on everything.
And we won't. I voted for this president, and I don't agree with everything.
Yeah.
And I will, especially on here, I will try to be as intellectually honest as I can. When he does something I don't like, I'll let you know. Okay? All right, JD, last word.
Don't be stupid.
I mean,
It's a pretty good. That's a pretty good thought.
you round out our first podcast ever with words of wisdom from Dwight Schrute.
Hey, those words
Don't
of
be stupid.
wisdom are.
Changed my life. If I'm about to do something, I think, would an idiot do that thing? If yes, I do not do that. Words of wisdom from J.D. Schrute. All right, guys, it was a pleasure. We'll do it again.
Oh, I'm in basketball shorts.
QLC is kicking down the door. Andrew and Sharp always talking politics, dropping knowledge while we're stirring up the mix. JD's tall, got opinions for days. He'll tell you what he thinks in 1,000 ways. Mr. Tim, the old man in the crew, knows a little about everything. It's true. From history to dad jokes and bad advice, he's